What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope everyone had a fantastic week, and I also hope you guys enjoyed the throwback rebuild yesterday. But we're taking a break from throwback rebuilds for now. We're going to be talking about a certain wide receiver who just got claimed by the Houston Texans. Diontae Johnson's had a very interesting season, to say the least, and he's a damn good wide receiver, man. I know he has a little bit of flaws, but he was a wide receiver one at one point in Pittsburgh. So we're going to go ahead, jump in, and do this Diontae Johnson Houston Texans rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So, of course, Baltimore traded for Diontae Johnson. I kind of regretted not getting to a video on him there because I really thought that was going to be a great move for Baltimore. And obviously, it just was not that at all. It did not turn out that way. I don't truly know the full story. If I had to guess, maybe Diontae felt disrespected by Nelson Aguilar playing over him or something along the lines of that. My friend that's a Ravens fan has kind of filled me in a little bit on what he thinks going on, or maybe what he knows is going on. But ultimately, Baltimore had enough of it. They released him even after giving up capital for him, which is just crazy to think about, that you just don't ever see that happen. So he gets waived, and the Houston Texans claim him, which makes a ton of sense because obviously they've lost Stephon Diggs, and they've lost also Tank Dell. They lost him on Saturday, which is really unfortunate. Over the weekend, he got hurt in a brutal injury. I mean, he went out with a touchdown, but still definitely sucks for someone who's been injured already. This is his second time with a season-ending injury. But like I said, Diontae Johnson's a damn good receiver, man. I think he's going to be a nice compliment to Nico Collins, who's a stud in himself. Stroud has definitely not looked like the CJ Stroud we saw last year, but hopefully Diontae can maybe help him out with that. They play on Wednesday on Christmas Day against the Baltimore Ravens, and of course you guys will be watching this on Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas. Obviously I won't have it in upload for you guys on Christmas Day. Enjoy football, enjoy your family, enjoy Christmas ultimately, but we'll be back the day after Christmas with rebuilds again. With that all being said, we're going to simulate the rest of season one, and we're going to see how this Texans team does. Hopefully we get at least one win left. I mean, we already clinched the division, right? So yeah, we're going to be well, I guess technically the Colts could maybe, I don't know. I don't think the Colts win division more. I'm pretty sure Houston already clinched it, although Madden doesn't have it like that. But let's go ahead, simulate to the end of year one. We should be in the playoffs. We'll see how we do when we're in it. But funny enough, Madden actually has the Texans beating the Ravens on Christmas Day 42-30. What a win that would be for them. We finish up at 11-6 on the season, and we'll go take a look at the player stats as well. So offensively, we were 17th in the NFL, and then defensively, we were 6th in the NFL. So we have 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions from CJ Stroud. Mixon, 14 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. You got Nico Collins, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Diontae just got over here. Don't know if he had those yards until, or I don't remember how many touchdowns he had in Carolina, but he had 5 to end the season with 600 yards. Defensively, sacks wise, he had 12.5 from Neil Hunter, 11 from Will Anderson, 5 from Tim Settle, and then 4 from Derek Barnett. 9 interceptions from Stingley. What an incredible season out of him. Kalen Bullock, 5, and Kamari Lassiter, 3 as well. So let's go ahead though. Let's look at the playoff bracket really quickly, because this is kind of interesting to look at this point. So on the AFC, you got Denver making it. So Cincinnati is still alive technically. But yeah, this is definitely what it could look like to end the season. So Houston versus LA, Steelers versus Baltimore, and then you got Buffalo versus Broncos, I should say. And then you got Washington and Philadelphia going at it for the 3rd time this season. What a game that was on Sunday. Absolutely insane. LA and Green Bay, and then Tampa and Minnesota. So it looks like that Madden has the Bucks winning the division over the Falcons. But let's go ahead, jump into this first playoff game going against the Chargers, and we'll see how we do, and we'll see if we go on any type of run here. So Justin Herbert versus CJ Stroud would definitely be a ton of fun in round 1 of the playoffs, as we get an interception from Kamari Lassiter to start the game, and we're up 7-0. Herbert has done one thing this season, and that's not throw picks, and he just threw one to start this playoff game. So that's a massive start for us. But it's 7-7. I know Herbert just threw one on Thursday Night Football at the goal line, but still, he's definitely not turned it over that much this year. 10-10 so far. 12-10, we get a safety on them. So our defense has been making some plays. Now we have a 2-possession lead, but that quickly gets erased, and now we're back to a 3-point game. But we have possession here. The Chargers will take the lead 20-19 here at the end. I'm not going to jump in because it's only season number 1. Let's just see if CJ Stroud has that clutch factor in him to get us in field goal range with 58 seconds left. And we did win 20-22. So Kamari Fairbairn, however you say his name, his first name. I know Fairbairn is his last name, but he actually nailed a field goal for us to move on to divisional weekends. That's a great way to start the video. So let's go see who we ultimately play in the divisional round. So now we have to go on the road to Buffalo to play Josh Allen and the Bills, who had a little bit of a struggle fest with the Patriots, but divisional games are always weird like that. So I shouldn't be, you can't be too surprised about things like that. But Buffalo did ultimately win at the end of the day. But let's see if we can come on here on the road and beat the Bills in Buffalo. That'd be pretty wild. But we're down 3-7 so far. A fumble recovery by Kamari Lassiter, who has just been getting the football here in the postseason. He got an interception on Herbert too, and now a fumble recovery. But we find ourselves down 4 at the end of the half. And now Buffalo is going to take a 2-possession lead here. We need a touchdown, and it doesn't look like we're going to get it. So we are going to fold here to the Buffalo Bills. But hey, back-to-back years of CJ Stroud making a divisional weekend. We need to make the necessary moves to get him to the AFC Championship. And of course, beyond that, to the Super Bowl and get him a win. But that is back-to-back years where he's advanced to the divisional weekend. Of course, let's go see if we can have a good offseason while keeping Diontae Johnson around. We'll see what we can do and cook up. We're going to the offseason with about $57 million in cap space, and Madden had the Lions beating the Steelers in the Super Bowl 31-3. Damn, that would be a terrible game to watch, low-key. But let's get in the resigning stage as we have $57 million to work with. But I will take a look and see if there's any obvious players to cut here. Which I don't know if there will be, but you got Danielle Hunter, who I'm not going to cut. Autry, cutting him for $8.5 million to me is a no-brainer. He's a normal dev at 35 years old. So we're going to start there and free up just a little bit more money for us. Is there anybody else that makes sense to cut? Titus Howard, you could save another $8 million there, but I'll hang on to him for now. But definitely if I need the money, we could even cut Shaq Mason for $5 million as well. But yeah, if I need the money, maybe run into it. But let's go see what our resigning stage looks like. $66 million in cap space. I know one free agent, I believe, is Stephon Diggs. This one's interesting because I don't know if Houston's going to resign him or not. And I would in today's video, but I think I'm going to let him go simply because I do think there is a massive chance that he's not back in Houston and just signed somewhere else. And on top of that, obviously got hurt in the year. And on top of that, I want this video to kind of highlight Diontae Johnson and not Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell will be back too. So maybe Tank Dell's out for the season next year. So you have, I'm not saying they're going to resign Diontae, but I guess that's just kind of the theme of the video. So letting Stephon Diggs go is definitely a choice, but it is the choice we are going to make here. As ultimately, I do think there's a good chance he's not back with Houston. But we'll see, man. We'll see once free agency hits on where he decides to go. But let's go into free agency and let's see what we need to do to fill out the rest of this roster. First and foremost, take a look at the lineup on top of what we got going on. So I thought Diontae Johnson was also free agent this offseason, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Simply, Madden doesn't have him as one, though. So your lineup is Diontae, CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Pierce, Nico, and Tank Dell. You have Tunsil, Scruggs, Patterson, Mason, and Titus Howard. So the offense looks solid. Your offensive line is not the best, I will admit. But ultimately, I'm pretty happy with the weapons. Schultz is a solid tight end still. Mixon has been everything the Texans could have dreamed of. Diontae, like I said, we're going to highlight him. Nico's a freaking stud. So offensive line is the only thing I'm worried about on the offense for the most part. So we have Bullock up to a superstar dev, and he is only 22. So that's massive to see that. And then obviously Stingley is a superstar, which is good. One of their top picks from years ago. Well, Anderson's a superstar, another top pick. Last year's already star dev, so that's nice. I think I've seen him get to superstar X Factor before in these simulations, so if we can get that too. Or maybe it was just superstar. We do need a D tackle. We could use some linebacker help as well. So we're just going to go ahead and get into free agency, and we'll see what we can do to spend some money there to continue to surround CJ Stroud with some talent. So ultimately, we only made 4 offers in this free agency class. It's not a fantastic free agency class by any means, but we're going for Rob Havenstein to upgrade our right tackle. We're trying to bring Jimmy Ward back to the fold, although I'm definitely not against drafting a strong safety still. Adoree Jackson and Derek Nottie. I don't even know if I'm going to get... I might only get one of these guys assigned, but we'll go ahead and submit those offers anyway. And we will get 3 of the 4. So we don't get the strong safety. So strong safety is going to be a massive need in the draft. But Nottie, Adoree Jackson, and Rob Havenstein, I think, is solid enough that I'm pretty happy about that. So happy to have those guys join along. I think that's all we're going to do in free agency. Wasn't a ton of free agency talent available, to be honest with you. So this is what we got going into next season more than likely. So Rob Havenstein. We could also cut Titus Howard for more money, but might move him to left guard or something if needed. Kenyon Green, I think, is still a young player for them as well, so maybe he eventually becomes something for them. Defensively, you do have this guy who I think is hurt right now, or is he listed as an edge or something? So he's a middle linebacker, so we can actually move him to left or whatever. So we can move him, so that would be an upgrade to one of our linebacker spots. We don't really need a linebacker necessarily. But yeah, we get Derek Nottie, who's at least a star dev. But strong safety, by far is our weakest position. So that's probably going to be the number one thing we spend draft capital on for sure in this draft. Let's go ahead and see how we do in this draft to add talent around Stroud. So we'll be picking at number 26 in the draft as the Raiders, man. Dude, they so tanked their draft positioning by beating the Jags over the weekend. So the Giants are going to take Shador, but the Raiders still get their quarterback with Quinn Ewers. So that's exciting. But if Malachi Starks is on the board, which I don't think he's been picked, that's probably where we're going to start here in the draft, unless there's someone else here that I'm just not thinking of. But let's take a look. So you have Jalen Morrow, which we're not drafting a quarterback, obviously not drafting a quarterback. Take a wide receiver, but that's not necessary. We could take a corner as well. Malachi Moore is not a bad pick, but I do think we take our strong safety here to start things off with Malachi Starks. I do think this makes a ton of sense. Ends up being a really good player in this draft class. So just like that, number 18 in true value, drafted in 26. Gonna give ourselves our starting strong safety, as we definitely needed one there in the worst way possible. So that's gonna be a nice little start to this rebuild in the draft. And now we go to round 2 and see what we can get here. So in round 2, offensive line is definitely the main thing we need, but we'll just kind of see what is available to us here. So you got Tyler Warren, which he is a very talented tight end. We could have taken Malachi Moore earlier, and he dropped here, so that's pretty nasty. Trey Harris is here as well. There's actually some really talented players on the board right now, low-key. Honestly, we could take a center, but he's not that great of a center. So low-key, I kind of want to take Tyler Warren, honestly, out of Penn State. Give CJ Stroud even more weapons. I mean, I know Trey Harris is not a bad pick. I know Malachi Moore sounds like a solid pick, but I do like how we have a young superstar safety there already. So I do think we're going to take the tight end here. I do think that's what we're going to do. So let's add more talent around CJ Stroud. We're going to get Tyler Warren. He'll play back up to Dalton Schultz, but probably will eventually take over that spot. Only normal dev, but still really happy about the pick. And we'll go ahead and see what we can get in round 3. In round 3, we're going to be picking at number 90, so we'll see what's still available to us here. Hopefully we can hit here on a nice little pick to end off this draft. So we got Oliver, we got Ritzy, we got Connor Colby, which a right guard didn't sound terrible going forward because Shaq Mason isn't going to be here forever. That might be where we go with this. So I am going to go ahead and take Connor Colby out of Iowa, give ourselves a right guard. Hopefully that can develop in the future, and that will be our guy. So he's going to be number 111, only normal dev. So not the greatest draft, but I do feel good about the Warren pick and, of course, Malachi Starks. I think that's going to be a massive help. But definitely could have had a more eventful offseason. There just wasn't a ton of talent. Ultimately, do believe that this coming offseason for the NFL will not be that great, if I had to guess. But maybe I'm totally wrong. I know the quarterback pool will be very, very slim. And it's going to be tough for teams to move on from certain quarterback situations with this draft class being extremely weak at quarterback. And the free agency class isn't all that fantastic either. But let's go ahead and get into the lineup for year number 2. So here's your lineup going into season number 2. Obviously, CJ Stroud at center with Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Diontae Johnson. You have Laramie Tunsil, Scruggs, Patterson, Shaq Mason, Havenstein, and Dalton Schultz. On the defensive side of the football, you got Jalen. Oh, I forgot about Jalen freaking Petrie as well. So we definitely didn't need to take a strong safety, I guess. I totally forgot about Petrie, dude. Holy moly. But he is only a free safety, too. So Petrie's going to be a massive help to this defense. So I guess we still needed a strong safety. But Bullock being a superstar behind him is cool as well. But we could have moved him to strong safety, I guess. That is my fault. But still not a bad thing to have. We also got a hidden dev edge rusher, which is nice to maybe take Daniel Hunter's spot eventually. So Stingley, Adoree Jackson, Lassiter, Malachi Starks. Ultimately, I do think this team will be pretty solid if I had to guess. We're also going to move, I don't know how to say it. Is it just Henry his first name? Yes, we're going to move him to left outside linebacker. That way he starts there. And we'll simulate season number 2, and we'll hope to make the playoffs again. I don't know if we did enough to make this team a contender in the Super Bowl, but hopefully with another offseason, we can accomplish all that and more. That's the ultimate goal anyway. So I'll see you guys. And then one last thing. What slot wide receiver is Diontae Johnson, which is fine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, simulate year number 2, and we'll see if this team makes the playoffs once again. And we'll see if Stroud can, maybe lead us further once we're in there, hopefully. So at the end of year number 2, we finished up at 9-8, but it looks like we missed the playoffs unless we secured the first, round bye with a 9-8 record, but that's obviously highly doubtful. So yeah, 9-8, and the Jags won division at 11-6. So we missed the playoffs, which sucks. I mean, we went over 500, so that's cool and all. But yeah, ultimately, we missed the playoffs. I didn't think we had that great of an offseason, so I guess I'm not too surprised by the results. But definitely disappointed. 16 touchdowns, 1,000 yards for Mixon. Diontae Johnson had 17 touchdowns in the slot, so he really was incredible for us. Nico, 4 touchdowns, 960 yards. Tank Dell, pretty good. Schultz was solid too. And then defensively, you had 13 sacks from Will Anderson, 7 from Neil Hunter, 2 from Azeez Al-Shaair, and then 2 from Henry. 3 from Adoree Jackson as far as interceptions, 2 from Henry, 2 from Stingley, and 2 from Malachi Stark. So we got some pieces in the offseason, but hopefully this free agency period is a little bit better, and hopefully we can just make this team the contender we want it to be, because I had a feeling we had a chance of missing the playoffs just based off how Madden Simulation can be. We didn't give them all the reason in the world to make sure that we're 100% in there. But, you know, hopefully with CJ Stroud leading us in the 3rd season with a good offseason, we'll be right back in the fold. I'm not too worried about missing it in the 2nd season. So, and then Diontae Johnson, based off the season he had, he might low-key turn into superstar if I had to guess. I mean, that definitely is a possibility. But we have $16 million in cap space. We'll take a look and kind of see what we can do here. So, not stats. That's not what I want to look at. One thing I definitely know we can do this time, assuming he's still under contract, which I think it said he had 2 years left, is we can cut Titus Howard now probably to save even more money. So Tunsil's still going to stick around, but yeah, we could save $17.5 million by cutting Titus Howard. To me, that is a no-brainer. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That gives us even more money to work with, and hopefully spend a lot of money in this free agency class to make ourselves. So we could cut Shaq Mason as well and free up $10 million. So probably going to do that. So let's cut Shaq Mason on top. Actually, we'll leave him for now. But if we do need to free up $10 million, he will definitely be somebody we can cut away. But now let's go ahead and get to the resigning stage, and let's see who's all important to bring back. So you're going to have CJ Stroud, which is a 5th-year option. So we're getting to the point where he's about to be paid. Will Anderson, same thing. Both these guys are going to have to get paid, and then this team's going to really, have to really work around some financial circumstances. Petrie's a free agent. Pierce's a free agent. Tim Sell's a free agent. Christian Harris. There definitely is some solid free agents here for us. But obviously, I do want to keep Danielle Hunter if possible. So we're going to start there. Give him a 3-year deal, and he will stick around. So that's nice to keep him around. Superstar, X Factor, edge rusher. Definitely want to bring him back. I'm going to do the same thing with Petrie. Although we do have the luxury of maybe letting him go because of Bullock, but I'm going to keep Petrie anyway. Pierce, we can probably let go. Tim Settle probably can let go. We can probably let go to Christian Harris. We can probably let the rest of these guys go. So we probably will cut Shaq Mason if I had to guess to give us even more money, because $40 million is not a ton if we're going to spend big in free agency, if there even is that option. But I guess we'll take a look and kind of see. So we have 54 players under contract right now. And we'll see if anything increased, if like maybe Diontae went up superstar. He didn't, which I'm a little disappointed by, because 17 touchdowns in the season. You'd think that maybe that, deserves a development trait. Schultz went up to superstar, so I guess we got that. But nothing else. Mixon's also a superstar now too. So we got 2 superstar devs. It just wasn't Diontae Johnson. Azeez Al-Shaair is also the superstar, and so is Henry. He's up to star. That's kind of nice at least. So Kamari Lashley's up to 79. So to me, the only thing we need on defense is a linebacker and a D tackle. And if we feel the need, we could grab another corner too. Wouldn't be opposed to that, although I do like Lassiter. The O-line is still a problem. So let's go ahead and see what we can do in free agency with the money we have right now. So only 3 offers been made in this free agency class, but we're going to make it worth it. Zach Martin would obviously be a massive upgrade to our offensive line. And then one other thing we're going to look at, is there any good centers available? There is Connor McGovern, which I think would actually be a decent little upgrade. Assuming we get Zach Martin, Shaq Mason becomes expendable. So we're going to go ahead and cut him right now. And then we're going to see if we get Connor McGovern on top of what we're going for right now. So, but that's assuming we get Zach Martin, which I think we will, because he has no other offers. So Shaq Mason will be a cut right now at 33, so we'll release him and free up $10 million in cap space, assuming that gives us enough to go for Connor McGovern, which is just upgrades our O-line that much further. So that is the ultimate plan, and then we'll spend the rest of our assets on the draft. So we can go for Connor McGovern here now, and that gives us just enough, just a tad. Hopefully he's willing to sign that. Really working around the edges here, but he has no other offers where I guess were his best offers. So Zach Martin, Connor McGovern, Reader, and Shaq Thompson. I think we're going to get all 4 if I had to guess. McGovern might wait and not accept right away. Yeah, so he's still going to wait, but the other 3 did accept. Did Connor McGovern? Yeah, and he's going to accept. No, he didn't. Wow. Well, we're going to cut Shaq Mason regardless. So center still is a need here. He went to the Rams. There's Garrett Bradbury, but I guess we'll just rock with the guy we have anyway for now. Whatever. We wanted to upgrade it, but we can't. So now we'll head to the draft with the lineup we have currently, and we'll just do what we can in the first round. We'll have a better pick. So Zach Martin obviously makes this O-line that much better. Gives us a 91 opposite of Tunsil. We've added Havenstein so far in the video as well. So offense kind of remains the same. Defensively, We added DJ Reader, and we also added Shaq Thompson, who's going to move to probably right outside linebacker. And then corner could be something we draft. Malachi Stark's already up to an 84 overall, so that's massive. But once we move Shaq Thompson, I will see you guys in the NFL draft. So we end up having the 15th overall pick, which is middle of the pack. Usually a pick you don't really necessarily want to have. But let's go ahead and see what we can do with it. So I'm not looking for like, the specific position, to be honest with you. But we'll see what's available to us. We have Caleb Downs. We don't need a free safety. That's the last thing we need, unfortunately. We have Marvin Jones. We just re-signed Daniel Hunter, and obviously have Will Anderson, so probably won't spend capital on that either. A lot of corner options. You got another safety option. Corner doesn't sound too bad, but DJ Hicks doesn't sound too bad either. Our D tackle position isn't the best. Or we could take right tackle Spencer Fano and move him to left guard and just improve our offensive line that much further. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take Spencer Fano here with this pick, and he is going to be number 6 true value. Going to be a hidden dev player, but he is going to probably start in the offensive line right away over our left guard currently in Scruggs. That's just going to improve our offensive line that much further. And now for round 2, we'll see what's available to us here. And once again, we'll just kind of go best available player. So unless if it's like O-line, we're probably done with O-line at this point. So Overton at the edge. We got a quarterback, which we're not going to take. We take him in a linebacker. We can take a strong safety, take a left tackle, take a wide receiver, take a running back. I actually don't mind taking Trevor Etienne, low-key to back up Mixon. So I actually don't mind this pick. So we're going to take Trevor Etienne here, give ourselves an actual good back. I thought Trevor Etienne was hidden dev in this draft. I'm totally wrong. So maybe could have been an L pick, but I do think we need to back up to Mixon. So I'm not too upset with it. And then let's go ahead and take a look and see what we can get in round 3 to end this draft off. We'll let the AI, of course, take care of the rest. So we can take a corner, take a linebacker, another corner, another tackle, Will Jottos, Miami of Ohio, Julian Humphrey. I mean, let's take a look at the corner, I guess, at the top of the board, and Toviano. So he's got decent grades, so I think we'll go ahead and take him with our 3rd round pick, and that will be all she wrote. And that ended up being a dud pick. So yeah, that's usually what happens with me sometimes. But overall, another okay offseason, nothing spectacular, but getting Zach Martin was massive, and I think also walking away with Spencer Fano is going to be a really nice pick. I think the draft has been more successful than free agency has been for us, but again, with Stroud, Nico, Tank Dell, Diontae, we should still be a playoff team regardless. Just barely missed out last year by probably like 1 game. So at the end of the 3rd season, I thought we actually missed the playoffs once again, but no, we went 13-4 and actually secured the bye in the AFC. It looks like we tied the Buffalo Bills, but we must have had a tiebreaker over them. Baltimore makes it at 9-8, and then Denver and Cincinnati were 12-5. So it looks like this playoffs is going to be a tough road, but hey, I'm happy to be here. So offensively was 10th in the NFL after going 9-8 last season. We get back in, which is great. Defensively, we were really good this year too. 28. What a great season by Stroud. Only 3 interceptions. Really took care of the football. 19 touchdowns, 1,200 yards from Joe Mixon. Etienne also added 4 on the ground too. Tank Dell 1,000. Diontae continues to get in the end zone at that slot position. Nico 849 yards, 6 touchdowns. Defensively, sacks wise, 7 from Will Anderson, 3 from DJ Reader, and 2 from Derek Nottie. 6 interceptions from Henry, and then 3 from Laster, 3 from Dory Jackson, and 2 from Azeez Al-Share. So we actually get to skip wildcard weekend, which is a really nice feeling, and we get to immediately play whoever in the division round. So you got the worst seed out of the division, or whoever comes out of wildcard weekend, and it will be the 9-8 Baltimore Ravens, which feels okay to play a 9-8 team, but it's not when it's the Baltimore Ravens. So we'll see how this goes. Let's jump in, play Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and we'll see if we can beat them here in the divisional weekend. The divisional weekend here against the Baltimore Ravens is actually kind of a rematch from a couple years ago. If you guys remember, obviously Stroud ended up being the Browns in round 1, and then he went on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. I believe he was on the road anyway. I'm pretty sure it was. And then obviously they lost there. We're going to go up 3-0 and then get an interception from Petrie, and we're going to go up 10. Lamar Jackson, what are we doing? What are we doing, dude? You just threw 2 back-to-back picks, and now you're down. Okay, that was pretty wild. Dude, Lamar Jackson is certainly not playing right now. Our defense is playing out of their mind so far. And yet, he could still probably get back in this game. 14-20. Only we could have 3 interceptions and be in a position where they could take the lead back. But no, we're going to put this game out of reach. 21-30. So great touchdown by Stroud there. I almost felt like I needed to jump in, but was it really Lamar Jackson doing all that? He threw 3 interceptions. Was that right? Yeah, 3 interceptions. Wow. I mean, I know there's a narrative of Lamar in the postseason that he's not very good, but man, he's not that bad, I don't think. Whatever, I'll take it. We're moving on to the AFC Championship after beating the Ravens. And now for the AFC Championship. A little shocked on who we're facing here. We actually get our division counterpart who went 9-8, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm a little surprised that they were able to beat the Bengals or the Broncos to get to this point. Maybe they beat both of them. I don't know. But we will go down 7-0. But we will respond to our own touchdown. So far, so good. It's a tied game. We get a stop, and now we're up by a field goal. It looked like Jags were about to take a lead there, but they don't. And now we're up 17-7. We get a field goal block, or their field goal got blocked, and we get another stop. It looks like that's nice, and that's gonna be, well, yeah, they don't have enough time to stop the clock and get the ball back. So that's gonna be all she wrote. Just like that, we're already headed to the Super Bowl in this 3rd season after having an immaculate 3rd season. So that feels pretty good. So let's go see who's there. We beat the Ravens pretty easily. There was a little bit of sweat there, but we beat the Jags pretty easily. And now we'll go see who's in front of us in the Super Bowl. And now it is Super Bowl time, and you guys already know who we're playing against. It, of course, is the Philadelphia Eagles. And speaking of the Eagles, my Commanders beat them over the weekend. That was a ton of fun. What a crazy game. And before, if you're an Eagles fan, and before you say anything, I know Kenny Pickett pretty much played the whole game. But I'm still happy to see Daniels throw 5 touchdowns against your guys' defense. That was awesome, man. And it would definitely been a different game had Hurts been healthy. I'm not going to deny that, but we'll take it, man. We'll take it. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Eagles here in the Super Bowl just like my Commanders did over the weekend. We're up 7-0, and now they get a field goal. Can we go up 14-3? Yeah, or no, 10-3. And now the Eagles will get another field goal. We get the ball at a half, and now the Eagles will probably take the lead here. So we need to respond here. And we don't. Okay, it's 10-13 with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. Let's come out here and let's see if we can lead a game-winning drive. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I always do that on accident. So play moment. I want to put on true clock because I definitely want to take as much clock off here as possible to not give the Eagles the ball back. But we're going to start this drive with giving it to Mixon. But yeah, let's see if we can go from Jaden Daniels to CJ Stroud getting a game-winning drive on the Philadelphia Eagles, hopefully. So not going to be a good start. Didn't even gain a yard. So that sucked, but whatever. We'll take it. Or not take it, actually. Just not a good play. All right, so let's move on next play, and we'll forget about it. So level sail is a play I always love because, you know, you can always usually dump it down to your back. Now, one thing I will do is throw Nico on a go just to see if that safety. No, the safety's going to stay over there. So I'm going to go to Mixon for some yards. Going to get around the corner. Yes, I can. And we're going to gain more than we even bargained for. So that's why I love that play so much. You can either usually hit your tight end or you can hit your running back in the flat. So pretty broken play, kind of. We're going to have Mixon again. They got to be incomplete. Honestly, okay with that being incomplete. But that would have been a little bit of yardage. Thought I could maybe beat that guy, but he definitely played good defense there. Okay. On to the next play. I guess we're probably not going to take down the whole clock. We're not going to be able to, I should say, anyway. But we are going to have Mixon if I can buy some time. Boom, down the middle. And that is going to be a beautiful play once again. That should take us to the 2-minute warning if I had to guess, which I'm totally fine with. And we can run the ball a few times. So maybe take off some more clock, and then Eagles might start burning their timeouts. But maybe we won't run it 3 times. But depending on what kind of, you know, play, depending on what happens with this first run, we might run it again. We may not. So I'm going to stretch it to the outside here to start this one. See if we can get, so I don't have to cut this inside. That's not going to get much. But that will take some time off the clock. I mean, we could also kick a field goal, obviously, to tie the game, but that's not what I'm looking to do here. So that's going to take off quite a bit of clock. So we're going to look for Schultz or even Diontae underneath, more than likely, or even Nico on a go. Nico might be there for the... He hung on. Okay, so we're going to take the lead here, but I can't, you know, deny that, obviously, there's still plenty of time left in the clock for the Eagles here. So we definitely got to keep that in mind. Now, sometimes I come out here and just do stupid things, but I'm going to see if I can maybe take advantage of stopping the Eagles here. I have 1:15 left. They need a touchdown. A field goal does not help them here. So they're going to start with play action, which I'm not buying whatsoever. They're going to dump it off underneath and lose 4 yards. Okay, that's an interesting start, I should say. But whatever, I guess, if that's what they want to do. So it is a play action crap. Didn't work, really. So let's see if we can keep them behind the chains. All right, so that's going to be a night. Oh, Saquon dropped it, looking like Devontae Smith out there in that last play by the Philadelphia Eagles. But all right, so now let's see if we can get another stop here. 3rd and 14, 3rd and long. We're going to cover Saquon underneath. They're going to go underneath. That's fine. We should have an open field tackle. That's going to be 4th and 8. So we just need to stop. Do I heat up Jalen Hurts here? Yes, I'm going to heat him up. I'm going to heat up Jalen Hurts, see if we can get to him. Oh, my goodness. I thought... Oh, let's go, baby. Let's freaking go. Adoree Jackson makes a break on the football. And now he's got to run the ball all 3 times. And we win the game. That's it. We just need 1 first down, and this game is ultimately over. But what a tackle by Adoree Jackson, or a play on the ball, whatever you want to call it. That was beautiful. 1 first down, this game's over. We get nothing out of that. 2nd and 10. Eagles run defense, obviously, pretty solid. They're a really good defense, as we all know, and I'm assuming it's still that way in Madden. Now, their guy is activated, which makes me nervous. So we're going to run away from him, I think. Can I flip the play, please? Yes, I can. Okay, so we're going to run away from that guy, and that's going to lose some yards, too. Wow, this is not good. Okay, so one thing we can do, though, is we can kick a field goal, so that's good. But do I... Yeah, let's make them waste their timeout. Or, you know what we could do? We can do a screen pass and make sure... You got to make sure we complete this, though. If we don't complete this, this is a disaster. But sometimes when you do a slip screen, you don't complete it. I'm gonna hand it off, dude. Let's make sure they burn their timeout. We want them to burn that timeout, and they will. So that's gonna be their last timeout. We can kick a field goal with Fairbairn, and we should be chilling. So I have the classic meter on here, so hopefully I can just nail this kick. So that will be good. Hopefully that should be good. So just like that, it's gonna be a 7-point game. Would have loved to have gotten the first down there and not even worry about this, but 25 seconds left. Surely we can get a stop. And all I'm gonna do, well, yeah, we're gonna play prevent. Let's just play prevent defense at this point, because I mean they gotta really get downfield here. 22 seconds left. So but yeah, so let's see what they decide to do here. 22 seconds left. Just gonna make sure there's no... they're doing play action. What are we doing, man? So I'm gonna get down there. Can we get a sack? Yes, we can. He threw it away. Should have gotten a sack. Hunter almost got the sack. He got lucky to have thrown that away. But that does not help them. That doesn't help them at all. So we're gonna continue to play prevent defense. 14 seconds left. Do I heat up Jalen Hurts here again? Low key, I might. No, let's just go downfield. Yeah, it's gonna be a sack. That's ball game. So just like that, it was a really good thing we made them use that last time out, and we're gonna win the Super Bowl here with the Houston Texans and Diontae Johnson. Only took us 3 seasons after Diontae, I guess a couple seasons after Diontae Johnson addition. But yeah, CJ Stroud just needs to get his mojo back, and this team is going to be really good once again. They're still in the playoffs this year. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they've been bad this year. I think we can just all agree that Stroud has not been as sharp. He's maybe hit a little bit of a sophomore wall, but still going to be a good quarterback at the end of the day. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Merry Christmas. Have a good holiday. See you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.